Hi there, how are you today? My name is Sue. I am from the Spiritual Alchemist and Tarot Specialist. Let's get some cards. Oops, have a bit of a reading. Seven of Cups just jumped out. Had a mind blank. It's morning. It's getting in before my clients come, so that you can get some guidance for your day. So my readings are timeless readings. You will find them when you need to hear them, see them, listen to them. They are not set for certain dates or events or anything like that. We've got the Ten of Swords, so a bit of exhaustion around as well. Feeling a bit confused, a bit exhausted, a bit overwhelmed, kind of a bit tired of it all. So the same old, but wanting to change things up a little bit. Let's have a look. What else we've got to come out? You know, the energies at the moment are pretty full on within the world. There's a lot going on. And if you're not aware, you know, like you are not just you. Your energy is connected to everything. So it's really important that you have a bit of mindfulness about what's going on in perhaps your area, what's going on in in your town or your city, what's going on within your family's life, because this all affects you. What's going on within the world, what's going on within the wars that are happening in the world, that affects us as well. So it is significant energy that ripples out into the world. And if you're sensitive to energy, the Four of Pentacles is that as well. You got to block it. You got to learn how to block. So if you're sensitive, you'll feel it. Just anything. Some people are really sensitive to the sun puts off sun flares, and that shoots down to earth, and that can hit earth and vibrationally give you, energetically give you dizziness, fatigue, all of the symptoms. If there's earthquakes, people are sensitive to these, tsunamis, anything, the weather, the barometric pressure, it just is all, we are energy, and it's all connected. So if you're, sensitive to energy or sensitive to other people's energy, if you've got empathy, if you're empathic, you walk around with your heart space open. This is, it's a little bit hard at the moment. I'm just going to put my screen back a bit. I feel like I'm chopping off the top of my head. So I want you to be really mindful. You could come into meetings, for example, or into a space where there's might be a few people in there, and there's one that's had a really bad weekend, or one that's had a really bad day, or or just a toxic, negative person. You'll pick up that energy, and then you'll feel, God, why do I feel like crap? It's because you've absorbed their energy and given them yours. So they go off feeling better because they've been in there and been able to vent, and you've absorbed the whole lot. So be really aware of what's yours and what's not yours, and be mindful not to absorb others. It's something that's really good to get used to saying, is that I will not take from you, you do not take from me. You mean it with sincerity. You don't mean it like you're an ass. You mean it that I don't want to exchange energy with you. Yours is yours, mine is mine. Let's keep it at that. When with my work, I do that quite regularly. I say a very simple thing in my mind that, just says that my energy is mine and yours is yours, and we don't swap. Because otherwise I would be too exhausted at the end of my day in, day out, to even be able to get up and work the next day. So it's protecting your own energy. Six of Cups, filling your own cup, so very much learning how you feel. How do I feel today? Actually, I woke up feeling really good. I had a good sleep. I haven't got any aches and pains. I'm kind of got a bounce in my step, feel ready for the week. How did you wake up? have a feel, have a think, connect. How do I feel today? So important. So, really, this is showing me there's a lot of people that are feeling tired, overwhelmed, sort of fight or flight kind of mode. And you have an awareness of how you are rather than just getting up and running. It's just give yourself a pocket of time, even if it's during the showers. You've got the Six of Wands, got some nice six cards out, Six of Victory cards in the tarot. So, if you can fill your cup, you'll actually be able to shift and change the way you move forward. And filling your cup doesn't have to be this big thing. It just means giving yourself a little pocket of time to actually connect in and go, how do I feel? Am I feeling okay? Because if you can step into your workspace and know that you feel on top of the world, know that you're sort of not got any aches and pains, know that, there's nothing pulling you down, or that, you do feel a bit off today, you do feel a bit irritable, have an awareness of where you're at. And then if anything changes throughout the day, well, what have you done to let that change happen? Have you sat and interacted with somebody that wasn't in your best interests, or like other people's energy? Don't let, please excuse me, don't let other people's energy throw you off your own balance. So interacting with people in your mind, I will not take from you, you do not take from me. If you're standing in front of someone who's very, trying to be kind here, needy person, I'll just say that, someone who demands your energy, in your head say, I will not take from you, you do not take from me. You can listen, you can be kind, but you don't need to absorb. So it's allowing yourself to witness but not absorb. It's so important. So important. Cleansing yourself is another thing that really needs to happen, and regular. I'm not talking bathing and showering, I'm talking energetically cleaning yourself, cleansing your energy. If you work in a in a group setting where it's a bit of open space, I would be cleansing every single day, just to make sure you're back into you. My husband does work corporate, so when he gets home, he cleanses. Just depends on the situation, It's not all the time. If he's in a situation that has been a bit ick, well, he will do the cleansing before he walks in the house. If not, I cleanse at the end of my work day. I cleanse all my cards, I cleanse me, I cleanse my room. It's removing other people's energy, and there's nothing wrong with other people's energy. It's just it's theirs, not mine. I don't need to accumulate it in my energy and in my house. So having an awareness, everyone you come face to face with, you transfer a little bit of energy. It is what it is, So when someone leaves, if I've been talking to someone, if they walk away from me, I then say, okay, in my head, their energy is going with them. It helps you maintain. Your fatigue sometimes is not your fatigue, it's someone else's. So have you ever walked into, you think of like a big shopping centre. You've walked in feeling really good, you come out feeling so tired, fatigued, irritable. It's the collection of other people's energy. It's like going to a big stadium to a concert or something, or to watch a game of football, or whatever it is. Those people sitting in your vicinity, you're all mingling your energies. So it's having this awareness around your energetic field and protecting it a little bit. So when we cleanse, I cleanse with Palo Santo. Palo Santo is South American holy wood. It is harvested from trees that have fallen, not grown, and it's not something that's not ethically sourced. It is very, very good. It's not as smoky as sage. Sage is good as well, but it's not as smoky as sage. If you're cleansing with an incense stick, it's really not going to cut it, because that is not a it's not the proper thing. So get yourself some Palo Santo or get some sage. You could use frankincense. Frankincense is really beautiful to cleanse as well. I don't mind. I've made it into a spray, so I just sort of spray it around and just let that drop into my energy and have the intention, like set the intention that I'm going to cleanse my energy and remove everything that's not mine. Another thing to do can be cutting cords with Archangel Michael. That is a really, Google it, because there's you can find a beautiful script to read that will remove other people's energy as well. But pretty much I use Palo Santo every day. You can get it in oil. You could make it into a room spray, so you could spray it around you and walk, just stand in that. Or if you want to cleanse your house, you can spray that spray around as well. It is really, really, it's just a beautiful one to be able to just shift other people's energy, like not have you sitting in muddy energy. So think of your aura, your energetic field, think of it like a glass window. And then think of other people's energy like sticky fingers. So in the course of the day, imagine if you say, for example, you take public transport to work. So everyone's sitting in that area, whether it's, say, a train. We're going on a train. That carriage that you're sitting in, every single one of them has put a fingerprint on your window. And then you're walking through the station, you're passing people, sticky fingers. You get to work in your office space, sticky fingers. You might talk to someone on the phone, sticky fingers, and then you go for lunch, you get more, you come home the same way. Imagine at the end of the day the amount of sticky fingers you have on your glass window. So cleanse. Like, you wouldn't sit there and look through that glass window every day. It would drive you insane. So think of your energy like that, like every day, just some sort of ritual. It can be in your carport or in the entry of your home. So you're not dragging all that rubbish all through your house and then wonder why you're not having good luck, wondering why you feel fatigued and overwhelmed, wondering why everything is not happening how you want it to, because it's not actually your energy. So cleansing your energy is really important. Cleansing your house's energy is super important as well. Again, Palo Santo, sage, get some oils, make a spray if you don't like the smoke, put some crystals around. My house is gridded with, when I say gridded, it's in certain formation. So on the corner of each house we have rose quartz and tourmaline. That helps keep the protection and the love within the house. And then within the house there's lots of different crystals as well. But you can wear crystals for protection, that will work as well. It just needs to become a daily routine. It's not a one-off fad. We're not going to start doing this because we want to and it's cool. We're doing it because we actually need to. Especially with the pressure that everybody is under, it's putting people not at their best quality, So really allow yourself to drop in there and cleanse your energy. Like if you're going through a really tough time at the moment, cleanse your energy, start fresh. Like how much of that is sticky fingers on your window? Like how much of that is your energy, your emotion, your frustration, your anger? How much of it is yours? We can carry other people's. So cleanse yourself, so you come back to you, hand on heart, connect. How do I feel now? I bet you feel better. 100% bet you feel better. Seriously. If you're going to make a room spray, you can buy different room sprays. There's lots of different ones around, cleansing sprays, clearing sprays. Have a look. You can make your own. I like to make my own because it's got my intention in it. So I would use distilled water, just some drops of Palo Santo, for example, and then a little bit of alcohol in there so that it keeps it from going off. And then, just shake the bottle and spray around the house, with the intention just to bring it back to your energy. I tell you, you'll be astounded how much things start to shift. And, this all came from our cards this morning. So obviously there's a need for shifting that energy. After you've cleansed yourself or your house, put on some nice happy music. It shifts the whole energy and lightens the load. Put on something that you love to listen to, because your house has been heavy and everything is heavy. So allow yourself to enjoy that. All right, I'm going to leave you to go cleanse your energy. Have a think about sticky fingers and glass windows. Okay, my love? I'll talk to you tomorrow.